fun turned to a dangerous situation.
It's the parent's fault. Even though the child did it, it still boiled down to the parent.
As a child started an apartment fire while playing inside with some fireworks. 4th of July celebrations ending in tragedy.
As it drove through the street, it stopped and it fired shots.
After another mass shooting. And Floridians getting a chance to go pro.
She's been trying to help me to get to the next level, which is much appreciated.
As one Florida man trains the next generation of soccer stars. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Tanya Jimenez.
I'm Paloma Pimentel. Today is Wednesday, July 5th, 2023.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
President Biden and the First Lady lead the county by example, celebrating our independence with a fireworks spectacle. Thousands of people join the president in celebrating our county's independence at the National Mall.
Caplin News' Samuel Real has more.
Independence Day is sort of a huge deal here in Washington, D.C. This year, more than 1 million people came to the district to celebrate America's 247th birthday.
People from all over the country arrived at the National Mall early in the afternoon to enjoy from the Folklight Festival, organized by the Smithsonian Foundation, and to pick up good spots to see the fireworks shot from both sides of the Lincoln Memorial.
I think the 4th of July is just a great holiday for people to spend time with their families, because we all get time off from work.
Freedom and independence, and I'm very happy and excited to live here in the United States, so I'm really looking forward to it. Also, fireworks. That's the best part.
Just as they say in soccer, this is everyone's country. It doesn't belong to only one person or nationality. I think we all should celebrate and be open-minded no matter where we are from.
And despite the rising trends of political polarization here in the U.S., the 4th of July is still an opportunity for people of all kinds to gather and celebrate America's fairly complicated but great history. For Caplin News, Samuel Real.
And speaking about Independence Day, police in Washington, D.C. are investigating the shooting that took place during a 4th of July celebration. Last night, police officials responded to shots being fired in a residential area where 9 people were hurt, including a 9-year-old and a 17-year-old. Police authorities are looking for a dark-colored SUV that is responsible for the shooting. Here's what they believed happened at the scene.
Investigation so far has revealed that this dark-colored SUV drove through the 4700 block of Meade Street, Northeast. As it drove through the street, it stopped and it fired shots in the direction of some of our residents that were outside just celebrating the 4th of July. It appears that the shooting was targeted towards those residents and victims that were struck.
All 9 victims had non-life-threatening injuries and are being treated in nearby hospitals.
Today, some Floridians are celebrating more than just our independence after neighbors save a child from an apartment fire caused by fireworks. WCJB's Zelali Solache reports from Ocala.
It's the parent's fault. Even though the child did it, it still boiled down to the parent.
Multiple families escaped the worst after a fire broke out in the Berkeley Point apartments. Witnesses say one of the children who escaped the flames was the one who started it.
As I was sitting on the porch, all I heard was like the fireworks going off, but I was thinking maybe the grown-ups was lighting them early for them, you know? And then like when I heard the big one go off, boom, that's when the neighbor, he was running, he was like, hey, somebody help me, somebody help me. And I'm like, what's wrong? And he was like, the building on fire. I think the kid's trapped in there.
Witnesses tell me the 7-year-old child was left alone in the home. He got a hold of fireworks and lit them indoors, starting the flames.
When I let my little boy down, you know, to play with him, when he said the building was on fire, I just jumped and told my daughter, you know, stay up here with the infant, and I ran down the stairs to help him. And he broke the window out, and when he broke the window out, the wind went in and the fire just said whoosh.
Firefighters were able to rescue a dog that was trapped inside of this unit. And residents tell me all of this could have been prevented.
It's a sad situation to see, but it's more boiled down to people need to be watching their kids and be there for their kids like they supposed to, because if you were where you're supposed to, none of these people would be out the door. That girl went into shock that had her baby to the point that she fainting outside because of this whole situation.
The dog was found on the first floor. 4 apartments were damaged and few families were forced to evacuate. According to officials, no injuries were reported.
That was reporter Lali Solache from WCJB. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says more than 10,000 firework injuries and 11 deaths were reported last year. Among those fatalities was an 11-year-old child.
The families of those killed during the Parkland shooting can now tour where it all happened. Starting today, relatives of the shooting victims can, and at their request, take private tours of the 1200 building at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. Prosecutors, law enforcement, and victim advocates will guide the families through tours of the crime scene, which are expected to go on for the next couple of weeks.
Several officials and federal agencies of the Biden administration can no longer contact social media companies about content on their platform, a judge ruled Tuesday. U.S. District Judge Terry Doughty, a Trump appointee, issued the injunction ordering agencies and officials not to communicate with social media companies about taking down posts containing protected free speech. Agencies like the FBI can still work with these companies regarding security threats.
Today, Wynwood's ever-changing landscape evolves as new local artists leave their mark on the city. Our reporter Daniela Tolke has the story.
Artists flock to Wynwood to leave their marks on the walls, transforming the area into an open-air gallery.
When I started doing graffiti, it was in the 80s, and it was very much underground. It was very much not understood or appreciated by the public. The public didn't even know what it was we were doing. They thought it was gang activity. And I almost miss the innocence of those days where we could just kind of do our thing. And there was no social media, no internet, no way for things to go viral and be copied right away and for them to become so commercialized.
I declared myself an artist in 1987 for no apparent reason. I wasn't making paintings on the weekend. I wasn't dying to be an artist. I just said one day I'm going to be an artist now. And I really had no skills and no talent for doing it. And I've just stuck with it for like 35 years.
The neighborhood walls acts as a canvas for these talented individuals, allowing them to bring their vision to life using spray paint. The unique form of artistic expression has become a part of Wynwood's identity, attracting visitors and art enthusiasts from around the world.
It's expressing your creativity. Also, it helps you relive whatever you're going through. Or somebody who is not an artist can come and see something, get inspired.
The impact of Wynwood's artistic expression extends beyond the boundaries of the neighborhood. The art created in Wynwood has the power to inspire and provoke thoughts, transcending language barriers and cultural differences. Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Daniela Tolke.
A family entering a new era just after one of Taylor Swift's shows. As Captain Brian explains, a fan went into labor while leaving the stadium in Cincinnati on Monday.
An Ohio baby came into the world in style, but his mother had to do more than just shake it off when she went into labor at the Taylor Swift Eras Tour. Tori Hedges found out the concert was weeks before her due date, but she still wanted to make the trip to Cincinnati to experience the show.
We were just happy we could get down there and go, hoping that I would be able to make it, and luckily was able to make it for the most part.
Hedges and her group sat on the far end of the stadium behind the stage in the upper section. It meant a long walk down to the main concourse after the 3-hour-long show concluded.
It was literally not even 20 minutes after she got off the stage when we were leaving, going down the ramps. That's when I was like, I think I gotta go to the bathroom. When my friend realized what happening, she started freaking out and grabbed whoever, the first person she could find.
Nico Akabuki was that first person.
She came right up to me and said, my friend's water just broke.
Everyone was in a state of shock, but Akabuki called 911.
She goes, well, should we call 911? I said, I already did. And I said, how do you think you're going to get out of here with all these people? They're going to open up and let you drive right through? I said, with an ambulance, they will.
Akabuki also captured this photo of the moment Hedges called her husband to let him know the news.
I didn't even know her name. That's the funny part. I had to ask her name in a text.
Hedges and Akabuki have been texting and talking ever since sharing photos of baby Lyle, who was born just hours later. Hedges has been a Swiftie since day one, as she grew up listening to Taylor Swift. And now, the Eras Tour holds an even more special meaning.
People say that I started my new era as being a mother, so leave the Eras Tour and go into my new one.
Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Brian Lopez.
The Marlins take on the Cardinals in a big-hitting Independence Day game.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
If you have one conversation with Giuseppe, you'll be quick to realize how positive he is in outlook, and he quickly enforces that.
How one man is helping the next generation of soccer stars become number one. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Radcliffe Art and Design Incubator is the velocity accompanying the fellow's rudder, as in a boat. Unless there is movement or action, the planned direction is of little consequence. We encourage the creative ideas into action, and from the experience of doing, we critically assess the feedback, adjust, and set out to rediscover the potentialities of an entrepreneurial mindset.
STEM is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
Going pro takes hard work and passion, and one Florida man is training the best of the best. Today, soccer-loving Floridians have a chance to go pro as a local coach shows how he trains world-class goalies.
Our reporter Jared Parker brings us the story.
Explosion, feet down, relax, breathe out, stand up.
Giuseppe Weller has used his skills to give soccer players the chance he didn't have when he came to the U.S.
I came from Italy. Soccer didn't evolve. In 1986, there wasn't much out there, so I had to figure myself out. So I was trying to get back to Italy, and I went through the military.
After serving in the military, then the police, Weller started sharing his knowledge with young keepers.
I've been trying to help me to get to the next level, which is much appreciated. And he's a really nice, good dude.
Dozens of professional and collegiate players have come through Weller's program because of his approach.
I get the first timers that come out here, whether it's the parents of a boy or girl, they all want to know, is this together with boys and girls?
Run like an athlete, here, pop them up.
I've integrated both boys and girls or women's and men's in this on purpose to get them to be able to be more workable within themselves, because the job world is like that, right?
Weller created an environment where he can push his players to their max potential while uplifting them.
If you have one conversation with Giuseppe, you'll be quick to realize how positive he is in outlook, and he quickly enforces that.
His players even stay after training is finished just to get in some extra work.
Coaches can only do so much in there, and the player has to do a little bit more themselves. So when they have these positive moments of being able to figure out what they need to adjust, and then after practice, they have that time to do that.
3 words players used to describe Giuseppe: straightforward, real, and positive, showing that his military and police background has a little bit of impact on how he does things here. For Caplin News, I'm Jared Parker.
The Marlins currently have the 3rd best record in the National League. Last night at Lone Depot Park, the Marlins put on a hitting clinic against the Cardinals. Jesus Sanchez hit a 3-run home run at the bottom of the 1st to get the Fish started, and first baseman Garrett Cooper kept it going with a solo home run in the 3rd. Marlins scored runs in almost every inning, keeping the Cardinals shut out until the 9th. The final score was Cardinals 2, Marlins 15.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I am Paloma Pimentel.
I'm Tanya Jimenez. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.